Federal executive is trying to regroup following its most underwhelming election performance to date. The party only managing just over 20% of the vote this year, losing 5 seats in the National Assembly. Covering that side of the big political story today, I'm hoping that we've got reporter Moloko Moloto on the line. Moloko, good afternoon to you. Hardly a week after the elections, the DA's top brass meeting behind closed doors. Do you have any sense of what that agenda is like?
Well, Jeremy, the DA went into the recent elections hoping that it would reduce the ANC's national majority to below 60%. The ANC got 57. Of course, we don't know if we can attribute that to the DA, given the fact that indeed their electoral support, the DA that is, also went down. And even in Gauteng, they were hoping that they will reduce the DA to below 50%. The ANC still holding on to the 50%. And they were hoping the DA to also make inroads in the Northern Cape. Not much has really happened in that on that score. Now, according to the Director of Communications, Mabine Siabe, this is just a scheduled meeting of the Federal Executive. This is a structure that is running the day-to-day affairs of the party. However, he pointed out that the leaders will be reflecting on the DA's performance in these elections. Of course, many other issues, as we saw over the weekend, the future of Mmusi Maimane. And also, we understand that several mayors from across the country, they are also in this particular meeting just to map a way forward ahead of the 2021 local government elections.
Well, let's talk about Mmusi Maimane very quickly. Certainly at the weekend, it was emerging that there was growing dissent within the Democratic Alliance. Is it too early to say that his position is now firmly in the gun sight, so to speak?
Well, it would appear that some within the DA are extremely unhappy with this performance by the Democratic Alliance, because it is for the first time the DA is having its electoral support reduced. You would remember that under Helen Zille, we saw the party growing phenomenally from when she took over from Tony Leon. In Gauteng, for instance, you would remember that sometime in 2009, the DA was won about 21% of the votes in the legislature. And 2014, it increased dramatically to over 30%. Now, as we speak, under Mmusi Maimane, it went down to around 27%. So there are people who believe that under Mmusi Maimane, the DA is trying to be everything to everybody. So there are some people who seem to be unimpressed. And we are also seeing at some of the people who moved from the DA and gave their votes to the Freedom Front Plus. So the issue of Mmusi Maimane, his future as the party leader, we saw the remarks reportedly by James Self saying that he doesn't know what the future holds for Mmusi Maimane. That will depend on the party. On the one hand, you have people like Magashule Ghana, people like Ethel Trollip, saying that they, as the party collectively, must take responsibility and not necessarily point that on one individual. However, Mabine Siabe saying that matter, the future of Mmusi Maimane, is not being discussed in today's meeting. And finally, indicating that if, for instance, there would be anyone who may want to have Mmusi Maimane removed before his term ends in 2021, that would require at least 5,000 signatures from the DA's rank and file, or the 2/3 members of the DA's federal executive. Those are the only two conditions under which Mmusi Maimane would be removed before his term ends in 2021.